I woke up to the sound of rain pounding against the window, but it was the warmth beside me that jolted me fully awake. Gabriella, my straight roommate of 2 years, was curled up next to me in my bed, her arm draped over my waist as if it belonged there. My heart raced. This wasn't a dream. Last night's confession had shattered everything, and now in the cold light of morning, I wondered if we'd just destroyed our friendship forever. Gabriella, that's me, had always been the one hiding in plain sight. At 25, living in bustling New York City, I navigated my life as a graphic designer with a secret that weighed heavier than the skyscrapers around me. I was gay, but I'd learned early on to keep it locked away, especially from family back in conservative Texas. My parents, devout Catholics, had drilled into me that love was between a man and a woman, no exceptions. Coming out wasn't an option. It would mean losing them, the financial support they still sporadically sent, and the fragile sense of belonging I clung to. So I played the part. Dated guys occasionally, laughed at straight jokes, and buried my feelings deep. Then there was Gabriella, 24, my polar opposite in every way. She moved in after answering my Craigslist ad for a roommate in our cramped Brooklyn apartment. With her infectious laugh and endless stories about her ex-boyfriends, she was the epitome of straight confidence. A marketing assistant at a startup, she dreamed of climbing the corporate ladder, marrying a nice guy, and having kids someday. We bonded over late-night Netflix binges and shared complaints about the city's chaos. She became my best friend, the one person who made the loneliness bearable. But as months turned into years, my feelings for her grew into something dangerous. I caught myself staring at her lips when she talked, feeling a pang when she mentioned dates. I told myself it was just a crush, harmless as long as it stayed unspoken. Last night changed everything. We'd been drinking wine after a rough week, me venting about a client from hell, her complaining about her boss. The conversation shifted to relationships as it often did. "Gabby," she said, using the nickname only she could get away with, "why don't you date more? You're amazing." I shrugged, my pulse quickening. Maybe I'm waiting for the right person. She looked at me then, really looked, her blue eyes locking onto mine. The air thickened. What if the right person is closer than you think? Her words hung there, and before I could process, she leaned in and kissed me. It wasn't a tentative peck. It was passionate, urgent, like she'd been holding back as long as I had. My world tilted. I kissed her back, my hands tangling in her short black hair, pulling her closer. For those moments, nothing else existed. No family expectations, no societal judgments. But when we pulled apart, gasping, reality crashed in. "What are we doing?" I whispered, panic rising. Gabriella's face flushed, her eyes wide with a mix of fear and exhilaration. "I don't know, Gabriella. But it felt right." We talked until dawn, her confessing she'd felt drawn to me for months, questioning her straight identity for the first time. "I've always thought I was straight," she admitted, her voice trembling. "But with you, it's different. You're different." I wanted to believe her, to dive into this forbidden possibility, but doubt gnawed at me. What if this was just curiosity? What if she regretted it in the morning? And me? Could I risk my heart on someone who might walk away when the world pushed back? As she slept beside me now, her breathing steady, I lay there paralyzed by inner turmoil. My mind raced through the consequences. If we pursued this, what would happen? My family would disown me if they found out. Gabriella's parents, liberal New Yorkers on the surface, still held traditional views. She'd mentioned their disappointment when her cousin came out as bi. Society wasn't as accepting as it pretended. Whispers at work, stares on the street, the constant battle for validation. Was love worth that fight? I slipped out of bed quietly, heading to the kitchen for coffee. The apartment felt smaller, charged with unspoken tension. As I poured a mug, memories flooded back. Growing up, I'd crushed on girls in secret, writing poems I burned afterward. College was a brief taste of freedom, but fear always pulled me back. Meeting Gabriella had been a lifeline, but now it felt like a trap. What if I lost her as a friend? The thought twisted my gut. She stirred, entering the kitchen with tousled hair and a shy smile. "Morning," she said softly, approaching me. I tensed, unsure. "About last night." I started, but she cut me off. "I meant it, Gabby. I want to try this. Us. Her words ignited hope but also terror. We sat at the table, hands intertwined, planning in whispers. No labels yet, just exploration. But deep down, I knew this was the beginning of a storm. Days blurred into a secret whirlwind. We stole kisses behind closed doors, shared lingering touches while cooking dinner. Gabriella questioned everything. Her past relationships, her identity. I thought I knew myself, she confessed one night, tears in her eyes. But being with you feels more real than anything. I nodded, but my inner voice screamed warnings. You're setting yourself up for heartbreak. She's straight. This is temporary. The first crack appeared at a work party. Gabriella invited me as her plus one. But when colleagues asked if we were together, she hesitated. Just roommates, she said quickly, her hand dropping mine under the table. Stung like betrayal. Later in the cab home I confronted her. Why did you lie? She sighed, conflicted. I'm not ready for everyone to know. What if it changes how they see me? Her words echoed my own fears, but they hurt. Was I her secret shame? That night, alone in my room, I wrestled with resentment. Why should I hide again? I'd spent years in the closet. Now with her it felt like stepping back in. But love, or whatever this was, demanded compromise. Or did it? The moral dilemma tore at me. Pursue happiness at the cost of authenticity, or walk away and preserve my dignity. As the week wore on, tension built. Gabriella's family called, pressuring her about settling down. When are you bringing home a nice boy? Her mother teased. She laughed it off on the phone but hung up looking haunted. They wouldn't understand, she admitted. I held her, but inside anger simmered. How long could we live like this? The secrecy started to erode us from within. Gabriella and I tiptoed around our feelings in public. But at home, the passion ignited arguments that left us both raw. One evening, after a particularly grueling day, she snapped when I suggested telling a mutual friend. You don't get it, Gabriella. My career is on the line. People talk. Her words sliced deep, reminding me of the societal walls closing in. I retreated to my room, slamming the door, my mind a whirlwind of betrayal. Why was I always the one sacrificing? In the quiet, I reflected on my own battles. Back in Texas, my parents had subtly discouraged any unladylike behavior. Focus on your studies, find a good husband, Dad would say. I'd nodded, burying crushes on classmates. Moving to New York was supposed to be liberation, but here I was entangled in another web of denial. Gabriella's hesitation mirrored my past self, and it infuriated me. Was I falling for someone who couldn't commit? Or was I pushing too hard? The next morning she apologized, pulling me into a hug. I'm scared, Gabby. This is new for me. I forgave her, but doubt lingered. We decided to take it slow, but life had other plans. A family visit loomed. My sister was coming to town for a weekend. Panic set in. How would we act normal? Gabriella suggested sleeping on the couch, but I refused. If we're doing this, we face it together. She agreed, but her eyes betrayed uncertainty. My sister, Maria, arrived with her usual energy, oblivious at first. We showed her around the city, but tension crackled. That night, over dinner, Maria eyed us suspiciously. You two seem close. Gabriella choked on her wine, and I forced a laugh. Best friends do that. But inside, guilt churned. Lying to family felt like poison. Later, alone with Maria, she pressed. Is there something going on? You look different. I denied it, but the words tasted bitter. The moral weight crushed me. Deceiving loved ones for love, or risking rejection for truth. As Maria left, relief mixed with shame. Gabriella and I collapsed on the couch, exhausted. We can't keep this up, I whispered. She nodded, but instead of resolution, she pulled away. Maybe we need space. Her suggestion hit like a punch. Space? After appending my life? Anger flared. Is that code for ending it? We argued late into the night, voices rising. She accused me of pressuring her. I called her cowardly. By dawn, we were strangers in our own home. Work became my escape, but even there, whispers followed. A colleague, sensing my distraction, asked if I was okay. I brushed it off, but inside, turmoil raged. What was the right choice? Cling to this fragile connection, or let go before it destroyed me? Gabriella's inner conflict mirrored mine. She'd always defined herself by others' expectations. Her parents' dreams, society's norms. Now, loving me challenged that foundation. A turning point came at a friend's birthday party. Alcohol flowed and inhibitions dropped. Gabriella, tipsy, grabbed my hand openly, pulling me to dance. For a moment it was bliss, no hiding, just us. But then an acquaintance sneered. "Didn't know you swung that way, Gabs." Gabriella froze, dropping my hand like it burned. Humiliation washed over me. In the bathroom I confronted my reflection. Why am I letting this happen? On the way home, silence deafened us. "I'm sorry," she finally said. I panicked. But apologies weren't enough anymore. "You have to choose," I demanded. "Us or the facade." Tears streamed down her face. "It's not that simple. My family. My job." Her excuses fueled my resolve. That night I slept alone, pondering the damage. Love shouldn't require erasure. The fallout escalated when Gabriella's ex-boyfriend, Mark, reappeared. He'd texted her, wanting to reconnect. She showed me, swearing it meant nothing, but I saw the temptation in her eyes, a return to normalcy. Jealousy twisted my thoughts. Was I just an experiment? The betrayal stung, even if unspoken. I imagined her choosing him, fitting back into the straight world, leaving me broken. Confrontation was inevitable. "Are you talking to him?" I asked one evening. She admitted to replying, "Just as friends." Rage boiled over. "Friends? While we're together?" She defended herself, claiming confusion. "I don't know who I am anymore." Her admission cracked something in me. We were both lost, victims of internal wars. As days passed, the apartment became a battlefield. Small things ignited fights. Forgotten chores, late nights out. Gabriella withdrew, spending more time at work. I filled the void with self-doubt, questioning every decision. Had I pushed her into this? Was my love selfish? The ethical quandary haunted me. Force authenticity, or allow denial at my expense? A call from my mother intensified the pressure. "When are you coming home? We miss you." Her voice carried unspoken expectations. I hung up, tears flowing. Hiding from them was one thing. Hiding with Gabriella was torture. I needed resolution. One night, after a silent dinner, Gabriella broke. "I think I love you," she confessed, voice breaking. "But I'm terrified." I pulled her close, but caution tempered my joy. Love was here, but at what cost? We agreed to therapy, a step toward clarity. But deep down, I feared it might expose fractures too deep to mend. The session started tentatively. The therapist probed our fears, unearthing buried traumas. Gabriella spoke of her rigid upbringing, the pressure to conform. I shared my closeted pain. Progress felt possible, but society loomed outside. Friends began noticing changes, questioning our dynamic. We dodged, but lies piled up. Then disaster struck. Gabriella's boss, overhearing a rumor, pulled her aside. "Is there something I should know?" She denied, but the seed was planted. Paranoia set in. "What if I lose my job?" she fretted. I reassured her, but resentment grew. Why was her career more important than us? The strain reached a boiling point during a weekend getaway we planned to reconnect. Escaping the city seemed ideal, but the drive to upstate New York was fraught with tension. Gabriella gripped the wheel, her knuckles white. "What if this doesn't work?" she muttered. I stared out the window, my mind racing. Failure wasn't an option. I'd invested too much. But doubt whispered, "Is this worth the pain?" At the cabin, isolation amplified our issues. We hiked, cooked, tried to recapture the spark, but arguments erupted. "You act like I'm the villain," she accused when I pressed for openness. "I'm trying." Her frustration mirrored my own. Inside, I battled guilt. Pushing her might drive her away, but silence suffocated me. The moral tightrope. Demand change or accept half measures. That night, under stars, we shared vulnerabilities. Gabriella admitted questioning her sexuality since college, ignoring fleeting attractions to women. "You made it impossible to ignore," she said softly. Hope flickered, but reality intruded. A text from her mother. "Met a nice guy for you." She deleted it, but the damage was done. "They'll never accept this," she whispered. I held her, but anger simmered. Families shouldn't dictate love. Returning home, the bubble burst. Mark called, insistent. Gabriella answered, laughing at old jokes. Jealousy consumed me. Why entertain him? I demanded later. She sighed. He's safe. Predictable. Her words confirmed my fears. She was wavering. Betrayal clawed at me. Was I a phase? The confrontation was explosive. Choose. I yelled. Me or the easy path? Tears flowed as she paced. I want you, but the world. Excuses again. I stormed out, wandering the streets, mind in chaos. Walking away meant freedom, but losing her was unbearable. The ethical dilemma. Fight for love or release for her sake. Days of cold silence followed. Gabriella threw herself into work. I numbed with endless projects. Friends noticed, probing gently. Trouble in paradise? One asked. I deflected, but isolation grew. Inner monologues tortured me. You're strong alone. But love demands vulnerability. A breakthrough came unexpectedly. Gabriella's cousin, the bi one her family shunned, reached out. They talked for hours. She gets it, Gabriella said afterward, eyes lit. Maybe I can too. Optimism returned. We planned to come out to close friends first. The dinner was nerve-wracking. For friends, trusted allies. Gabriella squeezed my hand under the table. We're together, I announced. Reactions varied: surprise, support, a awkward pause. One friend hugged us. Another questioned Gabriella's shift. Weren't you straight? The doubt stung her, but she held firm. Labels change. Emboldened, we faced bigger hurdles. Gabriella told her parents over video call. I'm dating Gabriella. Silence, then outrage. This is a phase. Think of your future. Her mother's tears, father's disapproval. She hung up devastated. They want me to choose. Holding her, I felt the weight. Families tearing at love, cruel irony. My turn came soon. Calling home, I confessed. Mom, Dad, I'm gay. And in a relationship with a woman. Shock, then lectures. This isn't you. Come home, we'll fix it. Their words echoed childhood fears. Disowned? Possibly. The pain was visceral, but truth liberated. Gabriella and I leaned on each other, but cracks widened. Society's backlash hit hard. At work, Gabriella faced whispers. A promotion stalled. They think I'm distracted, she confided. Resentment built. This is your fault, she lashed out once. Hurt, I retreated. Was love worth careers? That night we dissected the mess. I was scared, she admitted. He represents normal. Her confession revealed depths. Fear of permanent change, societal rejection. I sympathized but demanded loyalty. No more games. She agreed, but seeds of doubt sprouted. Healing was slow. Therapy helped unpack traumas. Gabriella explored her identity, reading books, joining support groups. I confronted my abandonment fears. Progress felt tangible, but external pressures persisted. Friends divided, some supportive, others distant. The social cost. Isolation. One evening, a heated argument exposed raw truths. Sometimes I wonder if I'm really gay, Gabriella confessed. Devastation hit. Then what are we? I asked, voice breaking. She backtracked, but damage lingered. Inner turmoil raged. Stay in hope, or in the uncertainty? Decisions loomed. Gabriella considered moving out for clarity. Space to think. Panic gripped me. Losing her meant rebuilding alone. But forcing her? Unethical. The crossroads. Love, sacrifice, or self-preservation? As weeks passed, she distanced, spending nights with friends. Loneliness amplified my reflections. Had I idealized her? The drama consumed us, but growth emerged. I embraced my identity fully, attending pride events solo. Strength built. Then a twist. Gabriella returned one night, resolute. I choose you. Us. Joy surged, but caution tempered. No more doubts. She nodded. Reconciliation was tentative, built on honesty. But society struck again. Her job offered a transfer to a less accepting branch. It's a promotion, she said excitedly. Alarm bells rang. What about us? The choice. Career or relationship? The promotion dilemma hung over us like a storm cloud. Gabriella paced the living room, weighing pros and cons. It's my dream job, Gabby. But the town. It's conservative. I nodded, masking fear. Moving there meant deeper hiding potential danger. And if we go together? She hesitated. We'd have to be careful. Her words ignited inner conflict. Compromise again or stand firm? Days of deliberation followed. Gabriella's excitement clashed with my reservations. This could change everything for my career, she argued. I countered. At what cost to us? The argument escalated, voices echoing off walls. You're holding me back, she accused. Hurt pierced me. Was I? In solitude, I pondered the ethics. Supporting her meant possible erasure. Opposing risked resentment. Love demanded balance, but where? Memories surfaced. My own career stalls from closeted stress. I wouldn't wish that on her. She decided to accept, suggesting I join. We can make it work. Reluctantly, I agreed, packing our lives. The move to small-town Pennsylvania felt like regression. New neighbors eyed us curiously. Sisters, one asked. We laughed it off as roommates, but the lie chafed. Adjustment was brutal. Gabriella thrived at work, but evenings revealed strain. People here are different, she confided. Whispers about those city girls circulated. Paranoia grew. We avoided PDA even at home with thin walls. Intimacy suffered, reduced to hurried moments. Inner monologues tormented me. This isn't living, it's surviving. Gabriella sensed my withdrawal. Are you unhappy? She asked one night. Honesty poured out. I feel invisible. Tears followed. She promised change, but actions lagged. The community event tested us. Invited as colleagues, we attended separately. Watching her mingle, laughing with straight couples, jealousy flared. A man flirted. She didn't shut it down immediately. Betrayal simmered. Confronting her later. Why encourage him? She defended. Networking. Excuses again. The fight was ugly. You're ashamed of me, I yelled. She denied, but cracks showed. This town. It's hard. Her admission fueled my resolve. We needed out, but her job anchored us. Family intrusions worsened. Her parents visited, oblivious. We played straight friends. Any boyfriends? They probed. Gabriella evaded. I see that internally. Post-visit, exhaustion hit. I can't do this forever, I confessed. She agreed, but inertia held. A wake-up call came via a local incident. A gay couple harassed. News shook us. Could that be us? Gabriella whispered. Fear united us but also highlighted risks. Moral quandary. Stay for stability or flee for safety. Gabriella's promotion brought scrutiny. A coworker suspected, confronting her. Rumors say you're. You know. She denied vehemently, later breaking down. I lied to protect us. But the denial eroded her self. Therapy via video helped unpack. You're both sacrificing, the counselor noted. Insights dawned. Gabriella's internal battle with bisexuality. My fear of abandonment. Progress but slow. Then betrayal peaked. I found texts from a female coworker, flirty. Just friends, Gabriella claimed. Doubt exploded. Like Mark. Sarcasm laced my words. She admitted attraction, confusion. I'm still figuring myself out. Devastation. Was our love built on sand? The argument shattered illusions. If you need to explore, do it without me. Tears streamed as she begged forgiveness. I love you. But trust fractured. Separation loomed. Maybe time apart, she suggested. Agony gripped me. Walking away meant freedom, staying potential healing. The choice tore at me. I moved back to New York temporarily, crashing with friends. Distance clarified. Reflections. Our love was real but timing wrong. Gabriella called daily, professing commitment. I'll quit if needed. Tempting but unfair. Reunion came unexpectedly. She showed up at my door, resignation letter in hand. I choose you over everything. Joy mixed with skepticism. No more hiding. She vowed openness. Rebuilding was arduous. Back in the city we came out fully. Friends rallied. Families softened slowly. My parents reached out tentatively, hers too. Society's acceptance varied, but we stood firm. Highs and lows persisted. A public kiss drew stares, but we ignored. Strength grew from trials. Gabriella embraced her identity, advocating quietly. But doubts lingered. Had we paid too high a price? Careers stalled, relationships strained. Was it worth it? As stability returned, a new conflict arose. Gabriella received a job offer abroad, in a progressive country. It's perfect for us. Excitement but hesitation. Uprooting again? Debate ensued. We've just settled, I argued. She countered. Growth requires risk. Inner turmoil. Stagnate or evolve. She accepted. We prepared to move. Adventure beckoned but fears resurfaced. Would history repeat? In the airport, holding hands openly, pride swelled. We'd weathered storms, emerged stronger. Yet questions haunted. Did we make the right choices? The move to London marked a fresh chapter, but old shadows lingered. The city buzzed with acceptance, pride flags everywhere, diverse crowds. Gabriella thrived in her new role at an inclusive firm, her confidence blooming. I freelanced, building a portfolio unhindered by secrets. We held hands in public, kissed without fear. It felt like freedom, but internal scars reminded me of the journey's toll. Nights brought reflections. Gabriella would trace my arm, whispering, "We made it." But I'd wonder, at what cost? Lost family ties, stalled careers, emotional bruises. Love's price worth it? The moral ambiguity gnawed. Sacrifice for happiness, or regret the pain? Challenges persisted. Cultural adjustments strained us. Gabriella's longer hours left me isolated. "You're distant," I accused one evening. She sighed. "Work demands it." Arguments reignited old wounds. "Don't make me choose again," she warned. Tension built, echoing past dramas. A visit from my parents tested progress. They'd soften via calls, but in person? Awkward hugs, tentative questions. "We're trying to understand," Mom said. Dad nodded silently. Gabriella charmed them, but undercurrents of judgment lingered. Post-visit, relief mixed with sorrow. Partial acceptance, better than none but incomplete. Gabriella's family followed suit, visiting months later. Thawed relations but subtle digs. "You could still have kids," her mother hinted. We smiled politely, but inside resentment stirred. Society's expectations died hard. Personal growth emerged amid turmoil. Gabriella joined LGBT groups, sharing her story. From straight to this, it's liberating. I admired her, but envy crept in. My journey felt overshadowed. Inner voice, "You fought too, own it." A crisis hit when a work scandal erupted. Gabriella's colleague outed her accidentally in a meeting. Backlash was minimal thanks to policies, but it shook her. I thought we were safe. Comforting her, I realized vulnerabilities persisted, even in progressive havens. Our bond deepened through adversity. We traveled, explored, created memories untainted by hiding. But doubts surfaced during quiet moments. Had betrayal's sting fully healed? Trust rebuilt but fragile. One night over wine, truth spilled. "I almost left you," Gabriella confessed. Fear nearly won. I admitted similar thoughts. Vulnerability strengthened us. "We chose each other," I said. Affirmation, but questions remained. Years blurred, milestones stacking. Anniversaries, shared dreams. Gabriella proposed subtly, a ring in a park. "Marry me." Tears, yes. Wedding planning brought joy, but family debates. Who to invite? Compromises forged. The ceremony was intimate, friends and reluctant relatives. Vows exchanged amid tears. Through chaos, I choose you. Bliss, but reality post-honeymoon. Life's grind. Career shifts followed. I landed a dream job. Gabriella advanced. Balance teetered, but we navigated. Society evolved slowly, acceptance growing. Yet, personal costs lingered. Missed opportunities, emotional tolls. Reflecting on our path, drama defined us. Confessions, betrayals, reconciliations. Each decision carried weight, sparking internal wars. Right or wrong? Debatable. Gabriella's evolution inspired. From denial to pride. Mine too, from hiding to embracing. But sacrifices haunted. Fractured families, lost friends. In the end, love prevailed, but not without scars. We built a life flawed yet ours. Was denying one's true self ever justifiable for the sake of societal peace? Or does authenticity always demand the ultimate sacrifice? The move to London marked a fresh chapter, but old shadows lingered. The city buzzed with acceptance, pride flags everywhere, diverse crowds. Gabriella thrived in her new role at an inclusive firm, her confidence blooming. I freelanced, building a portfolio unhindered by secrets. We held hands in public, kissed without fear. It felt like freedom, but internal scars reminded me of the journey's toll. Nights brought reflections. Gabriella would trace my arm, whispering, "We made it." But I'd wonder, at what cost? Lost family ties, stalled careers, emotional bruises. Love's price worth it? The moral ambiguity gnawed. Sacrifice for happiness, or regret the pain? Challenges persisted. Cultural adjustments strained us. Gabriella's longer hours left me isolated. "You're distant," I accused one evening. She sighed. "Work demands it." Arguments reignited old wounds. "Don't make me choose again," she warned. Tension built, echoing past dramas. A visit from my parents tested progress. They'd soften via calls, but in person? Awkward hugs, tentative questions. "We're trying to understand," Mom said. Dad nodded silently. Gabriella charmed them, but undercurrents of judgment lingered. Post-visit relief mixed with sorrow. Partial acceptance better than none but incomplete. Gabriella's family followed suit, visiting months later. Thawed relations but subtle digs. "You could still have kids," her mother hinted. We smiled politely, but inside resentment stirred. Society's expectations died hard. Personal growth emerged amid turmoil. Gabriella joined LGBT groups, sharing her story. From straight to this, it's liberating. I admired her, but envy crept in. My journey felt overshadowed. Inner voice, "You fought too, own it." A crisis hit when a work scandal erupted. Gabriella's colleague outed her accidentally in a meeting. Backlash was minimal thanks to policies, but it shook her. I thought we were safe. Comforting her, I realized vulnerabilities persisted, even in progressive havens. Our bond deepened through adversity. We traveled, explored, created memories untainted by hiding. But doubts surfaced during quiet moments. Had betrayal's sting fully healed? Trust rebuilt, but fragile. One night over wine, truth spilled. "I almost left you," Gabriella confessed. Fear nearly won. I admitted similar thoughts. Vulnerability strengthened us. "We chose each other," I said. Affirmation, but questions remained. As time passed, we adopted a dog, symbolizing commitment. Daily walks became therapy, discussing dreams. Gabriella spoke of starting a family, adoption, surrogacy. "With you, anything's possible." Hope bloomed, but fears of societal hurdles lingered. Professional triumphs came. I exhibited my designs. She led projects. Success validated choices, but reflections on past damage persisted. Friends back home drifted. Family bonds mended slowly. A reunion with old roommates brought nostalgia and tension. "You two look happy," one said. We were, but recounting the journey revealed depths. "It wasn't easy," Gabriella admitted. Understatements hid the drama. Inner monologues evolved from doubt to gratitude. We traded comfort for authenticity, paying dearly but gaining immeasurably. Years later at a pride parade we marched hand in hand. Cheers surrounded, but personal victory mattered most. From shock kiss to this transformation. Yet the past's controversies lingered. Decisions debated. Was hiding ever right? Betrayals forgiven? In quiet evenings we debate ethics. "Society forces choices," Gabriella said. I agreed but pondered alternatives. Our story, rich in drama, ended not with closure, but ongoing evolution. Love's complexity defied simplicity. Was denying one's true self ever justifiable for the sake of societal peace? Or does authenticity always demand the ultimate sacrifice?